when it comes to the future of the MCU, there is a lot of anticipation for what is to come from that franchise. Now, of course, Thor is going to see his 4th entry in the MCU with Thor: Love and Thunder. The director Taika Waititi is returning, and he's telling us that we can expect the exact amount of craziness, if not more, than we got in Thor: Ragnarok when it comes to this film. So I don't know how the audiences currently stand on Thor Ragnarok. I really haven't looked at it, but from what I remember, there was a huge amount of fanfare for Thor Ragnarok, considering it fixed what a lot of people thought was lacking in the first 2 Thor films, and that was a lot of the Jack Kirby aesthetic. Now, of course, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is fully heading into that direction. They're embracing his art style, his colors, and those themes that carried in the early Thor comics. Taika Waititi, the director of Thor Ragnarok, was recently in an interview, and he wanted to talk a little bit about the future of Thor. And here's what he had to say. The next Thor film I'm doing, basically, we're sort of launching ourselves again on this an adventure film. That was the thing really that I loved about doing Ragnarok, was it felt like we were just putting Thor on a really cool adventure. There's always new things to see and do, and this one, I think we're gonna double down on a lot of that and have it bigger and bolder and brighter. There's just gonna be some really crazy stuff in the film. And if you look back at the Thor franchise, Ragnarok was the highest rated one. It's the one that the most fans loved at the time, and it's the one that made the most at box office, so naturally they want to double down on what worked, and they want to differentiate it from some of the other films that are already in the MCU or coming out from the competitors. We already know many of the elements are going to see 2 different Thors. We know it's going to go more into that crazy direction, and as they teased previously, this film looks like it could start another Thor trilogy going down the road. So all in all, I think they're really going to position this film as something that is more of like we got in Ragnarok, that can hopefully build upon what was established in that and deliver us some more cosmic goodness. And if that's really the whole goal of this Thor franchise, I think fans will get a little bit more behind it. Now we just have to see how it's going to tie into everything, considering everything seems to be going in some direction, and Thor just kind of seems like a weird one in there that's kind of devoid of the rest of them. But in due time, we'll know.